Okay, good morning everyone. So sorry for the delay in the class. Actually, I'm in college today. So based on the internet availability, I'm so starting the class. So you can hear also some kind of disturbances, but please bear with it. Okay. So before I start with a new topic, so let me ask you whatever the confusions you have in the previous classes said in the part of transactions. Did you understood the conflict serializability problem? How do we find out the conflict serializability? Yes, please reply. Check. Okay. Only two of you replied. What about others? Okay, I'm sharing one online material. Okay, just wait. Let me share the web page. So what you can see, this is the just an online page only, website only, which I have opened. So you can see uh, this. This is what is called a schedule, right? So this schedule consists of two transactions, T1 and T2, where we have these operations R of A, R of B. Then these are concurrent operations, right? So here also in R of A, R of B are there, and is also W of B and W of A. So to convert into if you want to check whether it is conflict serializable, so what was the first step? Please reply. What was the first step? Step to find whether it is conflict serializable or not. How? Yes. Please unmute yourself or write in the chat. How will you do? What is the first case to check for the conflict serializability from the last day's class? Yes. What was the first step you people understood? You told me that you people understood, right? Yes. What was the first step? We have to find the conflicting pairs, right? Cycle graph comes later. Cycle, that is like comes very much later, but the to check like whether it is any schedule is conflict serializable or not, we have to check for the conflicting pairs, right? So how do we find the conflicting pairs? What were the condition for finding the conflicting pairs? Yes, how do we find the conflicting pairs? Forgot everything. So for finding the conflicting pair, we should remember that the operation must be from two different transactions. Okay, so because in this particular transaction it can perform any number of operations, so it will not be conflicting. But if it is occurring in the other transaction, then it is a conflicting pair. So for example, for any conflicting pair, if it is on the transaction, same type of transaction is performed on the same data item, and one of the operation is a write operation, then there will be conflicting pairs, right? So for example, you have this R of A. Okay, so R of A, you have to check whether any write of A is there in transaction T2 or not. So if it is, if there is no such kind of like activities there, or such kind of operations are there, that means it is not conflicting. Now check what is the operation. It is R of B. Now in this R of B, you need to check in transaction T2 if there is any conflicting pair or not. So yes, there is a conflicting pair. Okay, so because W of B is there, so after that we have found we have to represent it in terms of what, in terms of some this one, uh, precedence graph, right? So we have precedence graph. So we, how do we represent this T1 and T2? We'll represent it using a node, right? So we will write T1 and T2, and then we will mark that from T1 to T2. So let me just take a PowerPoint and just to show you. Okay, So can you like see my PowerPoint screen now? Yes, please reply. Can you see the PowerPoint screen? Blank presentation, can you see? Yes, students, am I audible? No. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Just wait. Just wait then. Now is it visible? Now is it visible? Can you see the screen now? Okay. Okay, so what we do, we have to draw the like for precedence graph, we have to draw the nodes, right? So for this one, we'll have two nodes because we have two transactions, T1 and T2. So here I'm taking the shapes. Okay, so I'm taking this oval shape. Okay, and I'm writing it and I'm marking as T1. Similarly, I'll take one more and this one I'm writing it T2. Okay, now we have just seen in the previous one. Okay, just so in the previous one we have see for the R of B we have a W of B, that is conflicting pair in transaction T2. So how do we represent? We write, give a edge, right? So we represent using, so this is the conflicting pair from T1 to T2. Now if we go back again, okay, so if we go back again, okay, so this screen is visible. It's like the this one, the website is visible to you. Is it visible?
No, ma'am.
No. Yes.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just wait then. Sorry. So I can't share or what? So now is it visible? I hope it's visible now. Yes, right. So you can see we have drawn a we have drawn an edge from T1 to T2 because of this one pair, right? Conflicting pair R of B and W of B. Now what we have to check for this one, R of A. So you can see for R of A, what will be the conflicting pair will be W of A. So which is in this one. That is in T1. So this means if we go back to the if we slide presentation, if the present uh, previous slide, that is in the, if we draw the precedence graph, how will it look like? So it will look like something like this. Okay, so you can see there it is a loop forming, right? It's a cycle from T1 to T2, so T2 to T1. So that means it is not a conflict serializable. So if it is not conflict serializable, we cannot have a serial schedule for this one. Okay, so this is like the it forms a cycle. So we have discussed in the last class that for it for to be in a conflict serializability or like to be serializable, it is very mandatory, very much mandatory, that there should not be any loop or there should not be any loop or cycle. But here it is forming a cycle. Okay, so that means it is not a conflict serializable. So we cannot have a serial schedule for it. Now tell me if you have any confusion for this part. This was already discussed in the last class, just a revision only. Here, what about others? See, I got the feedback that you people are not understanding the online classes properly and you are facing problem. Okay, so because you don't say anything to me, so I just get an idea that whatever I understand, I that do according to that only. Right, that is at least try to like revise few the important bits, because you people you have to concentrate in the class, because I have also got the feedbacks not from this class but from other classes that they understand the thing when I explain it but later they forget it, right? So for this purpose it's very mandatory that you like have to revise these things. for you people, the class I talk about is like BCA third sem. They like I teach their software engineering. So basically, it's a theoretical subject. But for you people, it's like mathematics are also involved and important concepts is there, right? So it's like very important so you understand the things. Okay. Now let's go back to the previous one. So you can see an example. One more example is there. Okay. So you see here. Conflict serializable, another example is there, so you can see there are also two transactions are there. Okay, so two transactions are there. You can have this R of A, then R of A, so R of B, W of B, R of B, W of A. So W of, so here also you can find out the sorry, I think this is the same example, right? No, this is another same example. So you have, they have, what they have done, they have swapped it. Okay, so here the swapping is like this. R of B has been shifted here. Okay, so let's take it's an example here. So this for R of A, you have to find any conflicting pair is there or not. Okay, so you can see there is no conflicting pair. We will not check in the same transaction. Okay, so it's not valid to check in the same transaction. We have to find the this thing is a lot of problem is there. Okay, so when we have the conflicting pair, that is we know for R of A what is the conflicting pair is the W of A. So this W of A is in present in the T1 itself, so same transaction there won't be any problem, so it is not concurrent. But if it is present in some other transaction, so then it is a conflicting pair. So we have this R of A. Okay, so R of A, no conflicting pair of is there. Again, for this R of A, for T2, we have this W of A. So that means we have a conflicting pair. So for this case, now what we do, I'm just removing these parts, okay? So we again have T1 and T2. Okay, so here we have, so from T2 to T1, we have a conflicting pair. So we will write in this way. Okay, now again we go back. Okay, so you will find that R of B is there. For R of B, we don't have W of B in T1. For W of B, we have R of, because for W of B, what will be the conflicting pairs? We know it will be R of B also and W of B also. But you can see only R of B. But T2 to T, but T2 to T1, we again we already have this edge, right? So no need to do it again. We don't have to overwrite it. So this is, and then we have this R of B and W of A, but we do not have any concurrent transactions over here. So that means the precedence graph is formed in this way. Now what do we have to check? We have to find the whether it is conflict serializable or not. So for checking the conflict serializable, what we have to do, we have to find out whether there is any loop or cycle present or not. So you can see there is no loop also, no cycle also, isn't it? Only there are two transactions only, like T1 and T2, and only one edge is there from so we can easily see that we cannot come back to the same node or something like this. So that means it is we can say it is conflict serializable. So if it is conflict serializable, that means it is we can have a serial schedule similar to this one, right? And if you want to find the similar schedule, so what we have to do, we have to find the any it's like in degrees which is 0. So how do we find the in here? What will be the sequence? What will be the sequence? First T2 needs to, because we can see for T2 there is no in degrees, right? No incoming edges are there. So that means T2 will be executed first and then T1 will be executed first. Okay, the next. Okay, so in that case what happens is that, so if we have yeah, what will be the serial schedule we have? What will be the serial schedule we have? We have, for finding the serial schedule, we have to check the number of edges. Okay, so incoming edges. So you can see the incoming edges for T2 is 0. So this one T2 will be first occurring. Okay, so first completing and then, sorry, then T1. So this is the schedule for the serial schedule for the this concurrent transaction. Okay, so what happens is that you can just see, I hope you remember what is serial schedule, that all the activities in one transaction needs to be completed and then only we can start the a second transaction, right? So here you can see transaction 2 will be completing first and then only T1 will be completed. Okay, so that means we have to swap some operations. So we'll not discuss about that. Okay, so you can see swapping is there, but we'll not discuss here. Okay, so let's check. So just tell me if you haven't understood this part. If anyone did not understand today's class last day, this is just a revision of the last day's class. But yes, in the last day's class we have taken 3 transactions, but in today's class I have taken 2 transactions. This is an easy one. So last days I have just taken a complicated one a bit, so that is easy. But 3 transactions were there. So here we have only 2 transactions. Just tell me if you have understood the things or not. Okay, Abhilash understood. On others, what about others? Okay, this is the problem, right? I get only like that only few people's reply. What about others? Everyone understood? If everyone understood, then that is good, right? Okay, then we'll continue in next class. So this was just a revision. We'll just explain. We have a lab class, so in that lab class we'll discuss. Okay, so I think we'll take deadlocks and how to convert to predicting all these things. So just wait. Let me take the attendance. So you all can leave now. Thank you, everyone.
You, ma'am.